Okay, so it's time to talk about everything we learned from UFC 314. What do we know now that we didn't know before it? Alright, let's just start with the obvious. I just honestly feel like glazing Volk a little bit. We learned that Volkanovski, Alexander Volkanovski, the featherweight goat, man. So proud of my bro. Bro, he's not washed. He can get a title defense. Mavzar is beatable. It's like an amazing style matchup for him, man. We learned he's not washed. His chin is not brittle. It is definitely worse. And Volk is definitely not in his prime. But you know what else I think we learned? Volk could have beat Ilya. Okay, hear me out. If Volk had mixed in the grappling, or at least attempted to make Ilya have thought about the takedown, the threat of it would have affected his striking. It would have made him look different in there. It would have made him less aggressive. If he was able to get him down in the first round against Ilya, he could have got him more tired, took some power away from him, and he could have won, man. I'm not saying Volk could win in a rematch against Ilya, but he could have won that first one before his chin was truly affected by the knockouts, because it has been affected. It's worse than it was before. He's always been a bit chinny, getting rocked and dropped by Pillow Hands Max, getting dropped by Brian Ortega. It's always been a bit but his recovery has always been good, and it's still good, and Volk still has it, man. He's the fucking champ. Now, me personally, I didn't learn that shit. I already knew, alright? I predicted Volk to 50-45, and me 50-46 Lopez, with I was about to say with minimal difficulty, but man, he almost got finished twice, one in the second and one in the fourth. Stressful fucking watch. I'm just gonna say that. But we learned he's not done. All right, now let's talk about Diego Lopez. Did we learn anything about Diego Lopez? Not really. I still think he could be a champion. I do. The right style matchup, he can be a champion. I don't think he'd beat Ilya. I don't think he'd beat Volk in a rematch. I don't think he'd beat Gene Silva. I don't think he'd beat a lot of people who are in title contention at 145 right now. But he could be a champion. He could be. But yeah, I think he did good against Volk. He showed his gas tank isn't completely dog shit. He did go 5 rounds. He was still going in the 4th and 5th. But man, I knew he wasn't gonna beat Volk. I just knew it because he's a counter striker. He's not a fucking high pace, starting the exchanges, high aggression type fighter. He only really goes for it when he knows he has someone hurt, or he sees an opportunity to counter strike and go boom, 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 big hooks, left, right, left, and it didn't work. We didn't really learn that he's one-dimensional. We already knew that. We didn't really learn that much about Lopez, I'm gonna be real. But he ain't beating Volk in a rematch. I've seen people say that Diego Lopez deserves a rematch, man. There's no one else. Just give it to him. Fuck that. Diego Lopez, I think, will have to go on another good old win streak, all right? A good 2, maybe 3 win streak, because featherweight's got some people coming up, man. We got Lerone Murphy, bro. We got, obviously, Gene Silva. We got, I don't know anybody else to name right now. But we got people, all right? Featherweight is fucking stacked. And, yeah, we didn't really learn that much about Diego Lopez. Next, what did we learn about Michael Chandler, man? He's fucking done. He's fucking cooked, all right? I don't want to be a dickhead, man, because I've hated on Chandler a lot in the past before. But I just feel bad at this point. This dude is 1 in his last 5 or 6 fights, getting finished by Paddy Pimblett now, which is not bad. I said Paddy was going to win by finish. I thought it would be sub, but I just, dude, it's not looking good. He's old as fuck. I think he's 39 or 40, maybe 38. I don't know. He's old. He's out of his prime. He just isn't good anymore. He just, the one-dimensional big hooks running in with triple front kicks in a row. Dude, it's just the unorthodox, big, meaty style of just aggression and being buff and powerful and athletic. It just isn't gonna work these days, man. It's not gonna cut it, especially against Paddy to Batty. Paddy's good, man. I think, let's talk about him now. I think Paddy Pimblett could be a champion. Now, I've always thought this since he submitted Bobby Green. I was like, okay, if you can submit someone who's never been submitted in the UFC like that, make it look easy. I don't care if Bobby put himself in that situation. It doesn't matter. All right, he submitted him easily. He has dangerous submission skills. His frame is huge and really good for lightweight. He's a big guy. He has good, dangerous, unorthodox striking. His gas tank's getting better. He's improving every single fight. I'm not going to say he's similar to Dricus in his unorthodoxness, because I think he's more technical than Dricus, but so dangerous, so high output. Goes for finishes when he smells blood really well. Like Paddy, what did we learn about him? He's championship material. It's clear now. People are going to say, oh my God, man, Chandler's a bum. Dude, he's really not, though. He's losing, but it is to Charles Oliveira. It is to Justin Gaethje. It is to Dustin Poirier, and now it's Paddy. So he's losing to bad people. Chandler is decent still. He can beat people outside of the rankings, but I don't see him beating anyone in the top 10. And Paddy, I see him beating a few people in the top 5. I don't think you'd beat Arman. I think he'd lose to Arman. Arman's somehow a dark horse of this division still. I think Arman could be a champion. He could beat Islam. He could. I don't think he will. I wouldn't pick him to. But, yeah, I think he could beat Dustin Poirier, especially where Dustin's at in his career right now. I think he could beat Justin Gaethje. I think he would beat Justin Gaethje very easily. I think he would out-grapple him and out-wrestle him and probably submit him in a round or two. Maybe even ground and pound finish him similarly to how he did Chandler. I could see that. Yeah, we learned Paddy's the real fucking deal. Again, I already knew this, but I feel like 80 or 70% of fans were picking Chandler as an underdog on this card. Crazy, man. Crazy picking Chandler to win a fight in 2025. Couldn't be me. Next, I'll talk about the Yair fight. We learned nothing about Yair. He's his same old self, except a little more plotty in this most recent fight. But yeah, Pitbull. What do we learn about Pitbull? I don't want to say it. He's not UFC material. He's not UFC ranked material. He's just not. Definitely not championship material in the UFC. Just so plotty, man. I knew this. I did so good in predictions on this card, man. I'm sorry. I got to talk about it. We can't forget, man. All right. Fucking Pitbull, man. I watched his fights. He's so plotty and slow and 5 strikes around. Just barely edging people out. And then he can finish people as well. But he's old. He's not as good as people were hyping him up to be, coming into the UFC with a bunch of hype. Oh my God, man. He's the featherweight GOAT. He's a 12-time defending Bellator champion. Dude, fuck out of here, okay? Pitbull, not as good as he was hyped up to be. That's what we learned. Next, what did we learn about the Gene Silva and Bryce Mitchell fight? We learned that Ilia Topuria fled featherweight to run from Gene Silva. Okay, it's fucking true. Oh, he ain't chasing my boy Islam. He's running from Gene. Gene Silva may be one of the most unfair fighters I've ever seen fight. It's not even plot armor at this point. I picked Bryce Mitchell to beat him because I thought his grappling would be fraud checked slightly in this fight. The fighting nerds don't even have plot armor. They're just that good. They're just different. Gene Silva may be one of the most complete, built different fighters I've ever seen. He's in there every single fight he's in, smiling, trying to high-five the person when they do good on him. When they land on him, he's like, oh, good shot, man. I'm going to knock you out in a few seconds, okay? He's high-fiving them. He's smiling. He's laughing. He's dancing around. He's just doing what he wants. He's out striking people. He's fucking defending the grappling when he needs to, okay? When he has it on his mind, he can do it, all right? He's threatening submissions on a crazy, experienced, really good grappler like Bryce Mitchell, who's been submitted by before, but it's by Ilia, a champion who's insanely good and well-rounded everywhere. Gene Silva, man, iron chin, great gas tank, durable, very strong and stocky. I mean, he's not the biggest for the weight class, but he's like Volk. He's the same frame as Volk, short, strong, and just buff and just short center of gravity and just, dude, he's fucking one of the most built different fighters I've ever seen in my life. Crazy good, powerful counter striking. Just all we have to see from him is the wrestling. If he gets some good offensive wrestling, which he may not need, this dude is gonna go on a generational run. Obviously he's one of those fighters like Ilia where you have to knock him out. I think he's these type of fighters like Ilia and Gene Silva, where they're just powerhouses, juggernauts of offense. The only way to beat them is with more offense. You have to finish them, you have to starch them, or obviously submit them. But, dude, we learned Gene Silva's built different and is the real fucking deal. And we learned Bryce Mitchell is, Rip Bryce. He's still great. Great fighter. Great guy. I stand by it. I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding. Bryce is a cool guy. You know, he said a bit of a controversial thing. Like, let's just get over it, all right? He's still a cool guy. Like, we don't have much people like him left, all right? The humble farmer type guy who's actually intelligent when it comes to real world stuff. This dude would survive in the apocalypse and you wouldn't. Remember that, all right? Next we have Reyes. What do we learn, man? Oh my god. All right. Let me talk about this. I picked him to win. I was predicting he would win this fight, but then he would lose by KO against like a really good top-ranked guy like Yuri or Ankalaev or Pereira or Jamal Hill or Roundtree. Like, I feel like he would have just lost to the top 10, top 5 guys. But now, after seeing how easily he put away Nikita Krylov, who's a great fighter, dangerous, I think he really could get the belt, man. It seems like he's just so locked in and focused, and his IQ in there is so good. He's so sharp, so athletic, so dangerous. We know he has the grappling to back it up. No one's tested his grappling in a few fights, but we saw the Jones fight, man. We know he has the grappling. All he has to do is protect his chin, and he has a good chance of beating Yuri. He has a good chance of beating Roundtree. He has a good chance of beating Jamal. He has a good chance of beating Pereira. I actually think that. I think Pereira would probably beat him by KO, but this dude can get the belt. It's not a joke anymore. It's not, oh my god, yeah, man, wholesome Dominic Reyes title run starts now. Instagram comment. Fuck that. This is real life. He can get the belt, and I stand by that. I don't think he will, but he can, and we learned that Dominic Reyes is actually back, because beforehand, he's KOing, what's that guy's name? What's his name? Dustin Jacoby. Isn't that his name? Dustin Jacoby? Isn't that who he KO'd? He's KOing like kind of a bum like that, and then Anthony Smith at the end of his career kind of just letting him beat him. He wasn't fully back until now, but he's fucking back, and you remember that, boy. Next, I want to talk about the Chase Hooper fight. The last thing I want to talk about is the Chase Hooper fight, okay? We didn't learn shit about Jim Miller, obviously. He's still classic old tough out Jim Miller, all right? Just not good enough to beat a young prospect like Chase, okay? But Chase Hooper, man, I was a bit disappointed on the first watch, but I rewatched this fight, all right? I do believe if Chase Hooper stopped if he didn't get so caught up in the jiu-jitsu nerd brain he has, being raised as a jiu-jitsu nerd since birth, if he didn't get caught up in it, I think he could have got the submission. I think if he had kept going for the back takes and the bread and butter, man, the rear naked chokes, the standing guillotines, the arm bars, like, I feel like if he had went for the bread and butter and stopped trying to what is it called? A groin slicer? Something like that? Banana split him, like, split his groin in two. Like, if he stopped trying to do the crazy, flashy, extra shit, I think he could have subbed him. I think Chase Hooper is the real deal. I think his wrestling looked great. Striking, not so much. Has to improve in the striking, especially the defense, because I thought Jim Miller actually won round 1 on damage. I thought he landed a lot of good strikes. But yeah, Chase Hooper I think he's the best grappler in the division. I really do. Like, I don't want to say that, to be honest, because it's probably not true, but jiu-jitsu-wise, he's the most high-level grappler. Like, you're not going to sub him. He's going to scramble out of it. He's going to Granby roll out, like, what is it called? A gator scramble or whatever. He's going to scramble out of it. He's going to roll. He's going to go upside down, twist his neck out. He's going to get out of it. You're not subbing him. And he's just annoying to fight. He's just such a good scrambler, so aware in the ground game. He's so good. He's very good. I think we learned that his grappling is top level. It really is. Jim Miller is no easy cookie to put away on the feet, or on the ground, I mean. He's not. He's hard to submit. Very hard. A tough out, man. All right. But yeah, that's the video. We learned Chase Hooper is the real deal grappling-wise. We kind of already knew that, but, whatever. Okay, that's the video. Everything of standout that I thought we learned from UFC 314. I'll see you guys in the next one.